Imagine this sound disappearing forever. Not a turbo whistle, not electric silence, but a screaming, naturally aspirated V12 climbing past 9,000 RPM. Ferrari knows this moment is coming. And that's exactly why the 2026 Ferrari 1.2 Cilindri exists. This is not just a new Ferrari. It's a statement, a warning, and possibly the last pure V12 supercar Ferrari will ever build. Because while the world is rushing toward hybrids and batteries, Ferrari just looked back at its soul and turned the volume all the way up. The name alone tells you everything. 12 Cilindri. No gimmicks, no marketing tricks. Just 12 cylinders front and center, exactly how Ferrari legends were born. Under that impossibly long hood sits a 6.5-liter, naturally aspirated V12, derived from the legendary engine lineage that powered icons like the 812 Superfast and the Competizione. But this isn't recycled nostalgia. This engine has been sharpened, refined, and pushed to its absolute limit. We're talking about over 830 horsepower with no turbochargers, no electric motors, no artificial sound enhancement. Just raw mechanical fury delivered at an ear-splitting 9,250 RPM. That number matters. Because in 2026, almost no one else dares to build engines like this anymore. Press the throttle and the response is instant. No lag, no delay, just a direct connection between your foot and 12 pistons exploding in perfect harmony. Ferrari didn't just preserve the V12, they perfected it. And yet, this car isn't just about power, it's about balance. Despite being a front-engine supercar, the 12 Cilindri delivers performance that rivals mid-engine monsters. 0 to 100 km per hour happens in under 3 seconds. Top speed pushes well past 340 km per hour. But numbers don't tell the full story. What matters is how it feels. Ferrari engineered the chassis so the weight sits low and far back, giving the car near-perfect balance. Rear-wheel steering helps the car shrink around you in corners, while advanced stability systems quietly work in the background, letting you explore the limits without killing the thrill. This is a car that wants to be driven, not just displayed. And then there's the design. At first glance, the 12 Cilindri looks like it came from the future. But look closer, and you'll see the past everywhere. The long hood, the muscular rear haunches, the clean surfaces. This is Ferrari paying tribute to classics like the Daytona, but reimagined through a modern lens. The front end is bold and aggressive, with razor-thin lighting and a wide stance that makes the car look planted even when standing still. The rear is clean and technical, focusing on aerodynamics rather than excessive wings or drama. Ferrari wanted elegance, not chaos. Every line serves a purpose. Active aero elements adapt at speed, creating downforce when needed and reducing drag when cruising. This isn't flashy engineering, it's invisible performance. The kind Ferrari has mastered over decades of racing. Step inside, and the story continues. The cabin is unapologetically driver-focused. The steering wheel is packed with controls, putting everything at your fingertips so your hands never have to leave the wheel. The digital displays are sharp, fast, and customizable, giving you performance data without overwhelming you. Unlike older Ferraris that leaned heavily into luxury, the 12 Cilindri strikes a balance. Yes, there's leather, carbon fiber, and premium materials everywhere, but this is still a cockpit, not a lounge. Ferrari wants you focused, engaged, alive. Even the passenger gets their own display, turning the drive into a shared experience rather than a solo performance. It's subtle, but it changes how the car feels on the road. And that road, whether it's a mountain pass or an open highway, is where the 12 Cilindri truly shines. At low speeds, it's surprisingly refined. The suspension absorbs imperfections, the gearbox shifts smoothly, and the car feels manageable. This isn't a temperamental race car that punishes you for daily driving. But switch it into its more aggressive modes, and everything changes. The exhaust opens up, the throttle sharpens, the car transforms. Each gear shift hits like a heartbeat, rapid and precise. The engine note hardens as revs climb, building into a mechanical scream that feels almost illegal in today's world. This is the sound people will miss when it's gone, and Ferrari knows it. That's why they didn't hybridize this car. That's why they didn't downsize the engine. That's why they named it after the number of cylinders instead of some futuristic badge. The 1.2 Cilindri is Ferrari saying goodbye, but doing it on their own terms. Of course, exclusivity comes at a price. The 2026 Ferrari 1.2 Cilindri starts well into the supercar price range, and that's before personalization. Ferrari's tailor-made program allows owners to customize nearly every detail, from paint finishes to interior stitching. No two cars need to be the same, and most won't be. Production numbers are limited, and demand is already high. For collectors, this isn't just another Ferrari, it's an investment in history. For drivers, it's a rare chance to experience something the automotive world is rapidly leaving behind. Because once cars like this are gone, they're gone forever. No software update can recreate this feeling. No electric motor can replace this sound. No future technology can replicate the emotion of 12 cylinders firing at full song. The 2026 Ferrari 1.2 Cilindri isn't chasing trends. It isn't trying to be practical, and it definitely isn't trying to be quiet. It exists for one reason, to remind us why we fell in love with cars in the first place. And if this truly is the last chapter of Ferrari's naturally aspirated V12 story, then what a way to end it. Not with silence, not with compromise, but with a scream heard around the world.